Hi. So, I have made a trip out, imagine. One of the things I got, this is, by the way, the great unwrapping, unboxing segment, is I got a power outlet strip with 12 outlets. Because you know what? I've got lots of power bars. Lots. But it doesn't matter how many you have. You get things that just won't fit together. Like I was trying to plug in the charger for the camera, and then it wouldn't go with something else, and then so even though you got lots, you don't got lots. So this should help tremendously. It should. I think. Uh-oh. I suppose I can just rip this off. Somewhat. Oh, good. It's got a little cable tie. There. Recycling. So now, I have power. So I am going to put that sort of diagonally across things here. And of course I'll plug it into one of the other power bars. And I'll turn on the switch. And it lights up. But that is not all I got today. I went to a store in Toronto called SAYAL, S-A-Y-A-L, S-A-Y-A-L, yeah, electronics. Because after consulting with a fellow I know who knows a lot about electronics, he decided, and I've always heard the expression recapping, he decided that it is very possible. Now you remember, every time I think I know what's going on with this disk drive, I don't. But he thinks it's very possible there's a capacitor in there that is very near to the heatsink, and of course capacitors dry out and stop doing what they're supposed to do, and if it is failed or failing, it could be letting things get just a little bit warmer than they should, which of course is exactly what's going on. So somewhere in this bag, I have two 47 farad 50 volts, which apparently the voltage doesn't matter, it's just the farad that really matters, capacitors. And I don't have the board out, but right next to the heatsink there is one of these. And he is thinking it is likely that if one component has failed that would cause this sort of failure, it would be one of these. So I'm going to put that there, because what I have to do is, I do have to take the board right off of the top to get at the bottom, which makes sense. But that is not all I got today. I got a well, sort of what I had in mind. Things are rolling away. I got a soldering iron holder thing. Now, oh, I see. I loosen a screw. Or do I? Oh, okay. There's a little wee nut back here. Oh, okay. I gotta take it right off and put it back on. So why did I get this? Well, because it's good to have a place when you're not soldering to put your soldering iron, whether it's on or off, or hot or cold, or getting hot or cooling off. It's a good thing. So, this of course probably means, not the right way, just a moment here. Yeah, that's the right way. What is this? This, I imagine, helps protect things. Oh, okay. So there. No, we don't want to scratch that. And then a little wee sponge, which of course is pretty small because it's not wet at the moment. So, and why did we get that? Well, because yes, even though I know that somewhere I have a soldering iron, I don't know where it is. I just don't. So, not a bad thing to get. This is not certainly an expensive model. I don't know what advantage an expensive model has. I suppose maybe it lasts longer. Or that's the myth. We'll see. So, but there is more. Alright, so how does that go? Oh, very nice. And it also comes with a little thing to hold it, which maybe I'll use somewhere along the way. Maybe in the midst of it, but I like this holder better. But what else? Oh, okay. Of course, what else did we get? Da, 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 da. Solder. And it's funny, you know, I went to the fellow and I said, look, I haven't been doing this. I mean, I used to do this a lot, but I haven't been doing this for a while, so like, what solder do I need? He said, oh, the normal stuff. And really, I've been sort of out of this for so long, I don't know what normal is. So anyway, it seems what I need, so he tells me, is 6337. So that's what I got. I also got 4 batteries to go in the 64 and a joystick. But here, oh, also 2 40-pin sockets, just because. But more importantly, this is a real snazzy 40-pin socket. Now you can't see it very well, but it's much better. And as I'm soon to embark upon a super pet thing, the cable, the ribbon cable that comes with the super pet, I don't like the pins on it. They're very delicate. So I figure what I'm going to do is very carefully take this wonderful socket, which costs like $4, and put that on the end of the ribbon cable, so that when I have to pull it out and pull it in and such, it will be this socket that is going in and out rather than that ribbon cable, because I'm just terrified that one of the things will get bent or broken, and I guess they were meant to just go in and never come out. But here is what I've been really waiting for a long time. And this is a desoldering iron. Check that out. What this is, now I've seen where you take a soldering iron and you have a little ball thing next to it and you suck the solder out, and I'm sure they're fine, but I never liked them. Never, ever, 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 ever. But this is magic. And that, if I can get it out of its fine packaging. And once again, I have one of these somewhere. But this is magic in that it's hollow. You let it heat up. You put the tip right over the connection that you want to unsolder while having the ball squeezed. And when it flows, you let go and it's done. And usually it's done very well and very completely and quite wonderfully, rather than the way things seem to work with those other heat it up and stick the thing beside it and hope. I also, because of course I thought these things will wear out eventually, I got 2 extra tips. So I'll stick them there. And what else? That's it. So if you're in Toronto, SAYAL Electronics. There's stores in Toronto, Markham, Vaughan, Barrie, Mississauga, Burlington, and Cambridge. And for those in Toronto, it's not like going into what was the name of that store? That's no it'll come to me. Anyway, there was a great store. It was on Queen Street, and then it opened up a branch thing, and I can't remember what it was called. It will come to me. Anyway, it's not like walking in there, because they don't really have a whole bunch of used stuff around. They've got all kinds of project stuff and planes and probably drones and things, but they have parts and parts and parts and parts and parts. They do. So, from what I can tell, it's a good place. And certainly, see, I've been looking, trying to get one of these from Radio Shack online from the States, but it was just, it just wasn't happening. So this is worth the price of admission. Whoosh. It's magic. It really, if you have to ever unsolder something, I think this was like $35 or so. Maybe, if you're in the States, Radio Shack has it through the mail and it's less, but this is the best. It's the best. So I'm not going to plug it in right now, and I don't think I'm going to put the batteries in yet. But now, oh, and I have here the capacitors. And I can show you on a different board here. This is the one from an 8050. This is the one that has burn marks and scorch marks on the board. And who knows, maybe there is this here. What is it? I left my glasses. Well, it's kind of cut off. Anyway, I'll get it there as best I can. In the very corner. And I hope you can see that. Right here, this purple guy. That purple guy. That is what we're suspecting is causing all the issues. It is a capacitor, and after 40 years, they can dry out. they can. So I pondered just stealing one off of another board, but that's another 40-year-old capacitor. So, and they're not expensive. So, here is the circuit board. Oh, isn't it lovely? Oh, and it's funny, I was worried because the capacitor I got is not one that lays down. It's got two side-by-side things coming at one end. And when I look at the board in here, well, doesn't it have the same kind of capacitor? So, isn't that magic? So now, I have to take this board out of the top, turn it over, have a look. I'm going to look for cold solder joints, but also I'm going to get that capacitor out and put a new one in and see if maybe that's it. It's done. And I can move on to other things, which at this moment includes looking at more 4040s. Because I guess it's like strike while the iron is hot. I've been doing so much stuff here, I might as well use the momentum to get them looked at, get them assessed, get them sorted, get them figured, and yes, perhaps, get them gone. Although I don't believe it, but I will try. So there, I have been shopping, and we will now see. As you know, most of my assumptions about the disk drive have been wrong. It was not the controller board. It was not the power supply. There are two monstrous capacitors. It doesn't seem to be, although, you know, we'll see. But it does seem to be part of this 5-volt circuit on the main board. It's definitely on the main board. And this capacitor could be the answer. I am hopeful. I am. So I'm going to get things settled here. I'm going to make sure I have everything just the way I need to. I'm going to get the board out, like out, disconnect it out, and investigate the next possibility. So, but I think this time, even though many times I've said this, I think I'm on the right track. I think maybe this time I really am on the right track. We shall see. Anyway, enough for now. Stay tuned. We'll, I hope we have an answer. The answer. Very soon. Very soon. I hope. There's that sound.